Make videos to grow your business or to build your online brand, but there are a few problems. First, your mind is exploding thinking about what to say in the videos, and then you're freaked out because you don't want to look like a robot. And then when you do make the video, your audience does nothing. Oh, I hate that. Well, what if I told you there was a simple 5-step process that you could use to increase the excitement and the engagement in your videos every single time? Hey y'all, my name's Robert Kennedy III, RK3, that's me, and I'm partnering with the crew at BigVU to give to you this session that's gonna change the way that you create your videos. I'm gonna share with you my 5-step formula to take your videos and even your public speaking from static to storyfied, from boring to boombastic. Mr. Boombastic, sorry. Do me a favor, get registered for this event because I'm committed to bringing it and making sure that it will be brought in. Seriously, I want you to come out of this session with a toolkit that you can use to make all your videos exciting, engaging, and one more E word, easy. Get registered and I'll see you at the session.
Wow, what a great intro. You are all in for a treat today. Hello and welcome. I am robynlevin, your host today. And do tell us in the comments, where are you? We'd love to hear from you. My company, if you're not familiar with me, is Robyn Levin Media, and we are a marketing PR consulting firm based in Florida, or wherever there's Wi-Fi and a water view, I like to say. And for 17 years, we've been helping entrepreneurs and experts like you dramatically increase visibility and accelerate growth using the latest tech tools like video, live stream selling, and the power of storytelling, which you are about to learn a lot from Robert in just a minute. So the power of storytelling, we've been able to utilize that and help our clients expand and get featured in their dream publications like the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Entrepreneur, and even on the Today Show. So speaking of today, let's talk about how you can participate. So again, let us know where you are and are you a BigVU user? And if not, you sure should be, and you'll soon see why. So go ahead and in the comments, if you have a question during our program today, which will be about an hour, so we hope that you can watch the whole thing because we do have some specials at the end. But if you have a question, just put a Q and a colon before your comment and your question, and we'll do our best to answer that. So again, let us know where you are tuning in from, and we are about to start our show today. So it's my great pleasure to introduce Robert Kennedy III, also known as RK3. And you can tell from his dynamic intro that he has a lot to say about storytelling using the power of video. So he will walk us through his 5-step formula, and he is an expert in the communication industry. And he is on a mission to empower 1 million leaders to, in his words, impact, influence, and inspire through communication and storytelling. Welcome, Robert, and welcome everybody watching.
Yeah! Come on in here. Hold on one second. Let me bring some friends. Let's go. Let me bring some other friends. Hold on. I got some other friends. How about these guys? One more friend. Here we go. Here, come on. Let's go. Come on, buddy. Let's go. All right. Yay. Hey, Robyn, how you doing? I'm so glad that you're here with us. Hey, y'all. I see some people in the comments. Valerie Pinkston, what's up?
Hey,
Jose
Val.
Capote, what's up? Teresa, oh my goodness, good to see you. Heidi, Pinello, Yannick, good to see you. Vita Ash Properties, yes, some real estate peoples in the house. Real estate is one of our markets. It's our main market at this point. Yeah, all right, from Portland, Oregon. Hey, Sandro, good to see y'all. Good to see you. That Irie Lynn session. Well, that opening was, thank you. It was everything. It's everything for me. I try to be everything. Well, no, that's kind of not possible. But let's go. I'm like talking you to death, Robyn. Let's do this thing.
Let's do it, Robert. We are ready for you to rock and roll. So let's start. All righty. Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself before we begin.
Well, I like to play around on the computer. Can you tell?
Oh,
That's
just a
that's
little bit.
that's a little bit
I can hear
about me.
DJ in the background.
Yes, yes. So I am a father of three. I'm a husband of one. Yes. My wife and I, we celebrated 22 years on August 6th. So we've been
Woo-hoo!
doing it. We've been doing it for a little bit, for more than 2 decades. What else is it? I was a former teacher. I was a classroom teacher for about 10 years. I was a physics and biology teacher in high school, and from there I moved into my third business. Actually, I started my first two businesses while I was teaching. A little bit of safety net there, right? And then I got let go from one of my jobs, and so I started my third business. At that point, I created an e-learning company, and then from there moved into the communication training space, and that's where I am. Keynote speaker, run a training company, teaching organizations and their leaders how to present with power, communicate with confidence, all using storytelling as the foundation of that.
Fantastic. Looks like you found your specialty for sure. And we're lucky
Yeah.
to have you here.
Well, I'm
And your
glad to be here.
friends.
My friends and my
Yes,
friends.
hello from the UK and
And
Costa Rica and Atlanta. Yes, and Arkansas. Love to see where you're all coming from. So keep the comments going. And we are going to jump right into this subject. We are going to talk
yeah,
about how to use storytelling to move your audience to action. So,
yes.
first question we have is how do I get and keep the attention of my audience?
Oh my, I love that question. Well, here's the deal. I mean, I think one of the things that people saw in the beginning of this is that you've got to be able to engage the audience, and there are several ways to do that. You can engage them with energy. That's one way to do that. You can engage them through emotion. That's the other way to do that, right? And when I engage them through emotion, how do I do that? I do that by connecting with something that they've experienced, want to experience, or don't want to experience anymore. I've got to hijack their brains, literally, right? I don't know. Do you remember the show Golden Girls?
Golden Girls? Yes, of course. I shouldn't
Yeah.
say that.
So
You might
so
be
so my
dating myself.
mom
Oh,
so
okay.
my mom used to watch it when I was a little kid a lot, right? And so I remember the four ladies. There were what was it Dorothy, Rose, did I say
Oh,
was it Blanche? No,
if
yeah,
anybody else knows,
probably.
drop it in the
Yeah.
comments.
Well, Sophia, but Sophia's the one I want to talk about. So Sophia, she would tell stories almost every episode, right? And you remember how she started her stories?
No, can you imagine? I don't.
Come on. Here we go. Yeah. Yes. Blanche. Thank you, Sandro. All right. Sophia started her stories the same way every time. Picture it, silly. 1942, right? She would tell you several things. She would tell you where it was happening, right? She would tell you when it was happening. And the biggest thing that she was doing, using the word picture it, what she's doing is she's literally commanding your brain. She is literally hijacking your brain because she's telling your brain, hey, get ready. A picture is about to take place. An image is about to take place. A video is about to start. Grab it. Right. And so that's a big thing that you can do. She's telling you where to go, and she's really connecting with an emotion by sharing with you this or encouraging you or empowering you to create this picture in your brain. So that's one of the biggest things that you can do to connect with your audience. Draw them right into their own story by creating a video or a picture in their brains.
Okay, that's a great tip. Now, there's a comment here that says you sound just like her, and I'm not sure if they mean me or you.
I don't know. Is it like right now? Do I sound
Uh,
like Sophia right now? I need
Sandro,
to add some. I think I need to add some bass into my voice. My voice is a little bit high.
Yeah, so let's talk like this for the rest of the program.
No, I'm playing. All right, I won't do that.
all right. Well, here's a great question.
Yeah,
And it's my office professional says, how do I learn to speak with confidence through
yeah.
storytelling? I think a lot of people would love to know that.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. And one of the things that I want to start out with is a definition. The word confidence. A lot of times people, when they think of the word confidence, they think about a switch that's flipped on and off, right? There are these people, you went to school with them, and some people are just more confident than other people. Some people just have the confidence gene. They walk in a room, everybody pays attention because they're confident. And it's not so much that there's a confidence gene. Confidence is repetition with the expectation of success, right? So the more that I repeat something, the more that I do something, yes, there's some people that are more talented at certain things, but the more that I do something is the more confident that I become at it? When you went to get your driver's license for the first time, were you did you just like hop in a car and start driving immediately, or did you have to go through some repetition? Right? Anything that you want to do, you've got to be confident at by repeating it. So how do you gain confidence? How do you learn to speak with confidence through storytelling? Find a story, find a signature story that you can share repeatedly. And when you tell it, as you tell it more and more, you'll begin to find subtle nuances, pieces of it that you can grab onto, that you can tweak, that you can repeat, that you become better at telling, that you can get excited about. And as you do that, the more that you do that, that confidence is going to begin to shine through because you repeated it and you don't have to think about it as deeply.
That's excellent. You may not know this, but I was petrified of public speaking, and I would do anything to avoid it. And then after I got published, I was invited to speak and keynote a conference for Citibank, and it was for women business owners. And I knew I had to say yes, and panicked later in the car. And then I happened to call one of my clients who was a presentation coach expert. I was helping her with her marketing, and I said, now, Claire, I'm hiring you.
Yeah.
I want you to help me out on at least the intro, and let's work on that. And we did exactly like you just said, Robert. We went and found some stories that were relatable, and I had experience with that. You have emotion to it, and there's some attachment to it that makes you excited. And when you're excited, you share that. So just like
I think
great example.
Based on what you're saying, I see a question in the comments. That's a really good question. Eric is asking, where do you find stories to tell? I love that question. Right? So here's where you find stories to tell, Eric. Number one, we have experiences that happen all through our days that we don't capture, and so we don't really recognize the value in them as stories. There's this book by Matthew Dix called Storyworthy, and he talks about every day, at the end of the day, just write down 5 things that happened to you, 5 moments, 5 experiences from that day, and then pull the lessons out of those stories. Right? So we have stories that we can tell about our failures. We have stories that we can tell about the time we had to learn a new skill. We have stories that we can tell about the time that we discovered something new, right? We have stories that we can tell about the first time, the first day at work, the first time that we did something. We have all sorts of stories that we can tell. But the key in all of that is not just to pull a story, but what is most important for your audience to know or learn? What's the lesson? What's the takeaway that you want? Right. And once you do that, once you understand that, you can then back into, okay, what stories will create more relevance and really bring this lesson to life.
Okay, now Eric asked, what is the book title that you just mentioned?
Storyworthy. Storyworthy. Matthew Dix is the author.
All righty. Now, here's another one that leads right into that. So you answered the confidence and where do you find stories? Here's a good question. What if I'm not a good storyteller?
You know what? We all are good storytellers. We've just forgotten. It's kind of like that thing when you're kids, right? When you start coloring in kindergarten or before kindergarten, you're just coloring. And then one day somebody says, hey, you got to color within these lines. And then after that, you start to change where you color. And then after that, somebody says, wait a minute, that tree is not purple. It's supposed to be green. And then after that, you kind of squeeze all of that. And now you're saying, oh, I'm only going to color trees green and brown, right? So we begin to squeeze our imaginations as kids. Have you ever heard kids telling stories? Kids are fantastic storytellers because they have imagination.
They don't overthink about it. They don't overthink it. They talk
from their heart.
They talk from their heart. Right.
That's it. That's it. So some
you
of this
have to go back to the mindset. Go back to that playground when you're thinking about coming up with your story. Just go back to the playground and put yourself back in that mode.
Yep. And the enthusiasm and the excitement with which you told the story as a kid. It's really tapping back into that, right? But the thing is, here's the thing. As grown-ups, we begin to lose the ability to tell stories because we haven't practiced it. And we talked about confidence and repetition before, right? But here's the thing also, we have so much stuff that kind of is complex and gets in our way. And we forget what it's like to tell stories. And so the thing that helps us with this is utilizing structures or frameworks or methodologies, right? And storytelling really has four main elements that you use. And that's a little bit about what we're gonna go into today when we talk about the 5 steps. So the 4 main steps, or the 4 things, I don't know if we can I write on my screen for a moment here? Let me see if we can do this.
Oh, no doubt. You're so talented over there. Who knows
Yeah.
what's
All
going
right.
on?
So if you can bring me full screen, there we go. So stories have 4 main elements. They have context, they have characters, right? Can I write properly? Okay. They have conflict, and they have conclusion, right? Come on, erase that dead. All right, there we go. And they have conclusion, right? So these are the 4 main elements of stories. Context, what's context? Context is like what's happening in the world of your audience or in the world of that story at the time. Characters, who is it? Have you ever had a story where there's no character in it, right? Or there's no character that you can relate to? Those are terrible, right? You got to have character that you can relate to so that you can feel like, is it possible that I would be in a situation that they were in? How would I do, if the world was gonna come to an end? Would I be like, would I be the dude that would make sure everybody got to shelter, etc. Right?
Right.
How would I respond? What's the conflict? What's broken in the story? Right? What's broken in the world of your audience or in the world of the characters that are in the story? And then finally, the conclusion. How do we put a bow tie on this and wrap up? What is the thing that solves the problem? How do we get to the end? And we would like to think this is a happy ending for the majority of the time, right? Not always happy, but it's at least a bridge into the next issue that we're going to face, right? So those are the 4 main elements. So if we go back to just using a simple framework, we can all tell great stories. We can. Somebody's asking about a royalty-free intro music. All right, you can bring us back both together, Bruno. Everybody give Bruno a hand. Bruno's our behind-the-scenes
Bruno is
dude.
our
Bruno's
tech
doing some
wizard in the
fantastic work.
background.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yes, if you want to take a note, just to summarize that last point, the 4 points that you mentioned: context, characters, conflict, and confusion. So there you have some structure, which is really important.
Did you say confusion? No, I'm playing.
I'm sorry,
I'm
confusion. Did I say confusion?
There we go. Oh, there we go. All right.
We're live. Can you tell?
Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
Conclusion. All right. And be yourself, Bernadette says. Yes. Be yourself and be authentic.
Yeah.
And another comment, Irie, our lives are stories. Yes, we are all about stories. Every day, you could find a story that you could relate, probably in your business, in some way.
Absolutely.
Now, I have another question here, which is a great one. And the question is, what if I'm not a good public speaker? So we're talking video, using BigVU video, which really helps make your life easier. And tell us, how do they do that?
So let's talk about a feature of BigVU that I think is fantastic, right? Anybody that wants to get on video and do things, create videos, one of the things that happens is they get really freaked out about the words. Am I going to mess up? And I remember recording myself back in the day. I would set up my camera and I would record, and I would mess up a word after speaking for like 60 seconds. And like, man, I got to record the entire thing over again. So I stop and run back and forth, and I'm trying to remember and memorize what I need to say and look real and authentic and, not like robotic while I'm saying it. And it was hard. But BigVU has this amazing thing. Y'all get ready for the secret. BigVU has this amazing thing built in.
Sound
called
effects.
a teleprompter. All right, hold on. Did I need to do
drum roll?
I forgot my drum roll. Where's my drum roll? Can't find my drum roll. Okay, hold on. I got a drum roll somewhere. BigVU has this amazing thing called a teleprompter.
There's a prompt. Okay.
Yeah. So there's, I mean, the prompter, it's right over the screen and so you're still looking at the lens and people are still connecting with you because when we speak and when we're on video, we connect through their eyes, right? And so BigVU allows you to do that. You can put your script into that teleprompter and look a little bit more natural. Now, you'll get to a certain point where, you may ad lib on some things when you get a little bit more comfortable and confident to do repetition. But BigVU, having that teleprompter allows you to write some things down and put it on video without freaking out about, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. And here's another tip. Humans that speak English typically speak at about 120 to 140 words per minute. So if you have a 60-second video that you need to record, then you can write a script that's about 115, 120 words, put that into your BigVU teleprompter and record that. And you know that you've got about a minute's worth of video, minus breathing and, dogs barking, etc. So BigVU provides you tools to do that. And we just gave you another time tip that you can use to get recording immediately. There's no reason anybody on this broadcast, this session today should not have videos for their business or even just to practice their public speaking. So use that as a tip for you.
Absolutely. And again, you can use it on your phone. If you want to quickly type in your script and you're reading it from the teleprompter that's built in with BigVU, you can use it right from your phone. So it's great. And it looks like you can't tell you're reading from a teleprompter because you're actually looking into the lens. It's right there. So it does make life easier. Yes.
Yep. Fantastic.
Great tip. So hello, BigVU users. And if you're not a user, just let us know in the chat if you are or if you're not. And there is a link that Bruno put in there so you can find out more for sure. All right, let me see here. That's gold, good rate of speech, that's best. I'm from New York, so I tend to talk fast. I was going to ask about what about the New Yorkers out there? And I'm Philadelphia, so we talk not quite as fast, but.
Yeah, well, you've got to figure that out. I mean, talking fast is not a bad thing. As a matter of fact, talking fast can convey passion, right? But what you also want to add into that is, because I'm talking faster, people still have to process it mentally. So do I want to take breaks? People are talking about, listen, I grew up in the Bronx, people. So, hey, New York in the house, let's roll. Let's do it, son. Okay. So,
who would know? Who would have known?
Yeah, exactly. You want to take breaks. You want to breathe, use the power of the pause when you're speaking.
That's
so that
a big
people,
tip. Say it again, Robert.
You want to let the message marinate. You want to allow it to soak in so that people can get it, understand it, resonate with it, and then ultimately move to action because of it.
All right. Well, you've got some New York buddies on this call. I see Queens is in the house, and let me see, South Bronx.
Yep.
Yes. Well, shout out to all of you New Yorkers. And another one. And Nigeria. Not that that's New York, but I saw Nigeria earlier.
Close. I got to get to Nigeria. Yeah. There we go. Excellent.
All right. So these are really great tips. I hope you guys are taking notes because I think it's super helpful, especially incorporating the storytelling and the video aspect of it. Yeah. Now, what about body language? Can that help? And if so, how?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the things that I did when I came on, I played music. I had some, where do I have it? Hold on. I had some confetti. All right. But body language also is helpful for just helping people know that you're a real person, right? A lot of New Yorkers, we talk with our hands, right? We talk with our hands, New Yorkers, right? And so that's helpful. A lot of times when people, if you just see them and you see them from the neck or from the shoulders up, it's really static and it doesn't really convey the passion and the energy. This can help you convey passion. If I'm on a stage and I hold my hands out like this, then it kind of conveys welcoming, inviting, right? That's why when you're in a meeting, especially in a corporate setting, it tells you not to fold your hands, right? Not to cross your arms across your chest, because that can indicate that you're closed. So all of those things are, all of that put together really helps to enhance the message that you share. Okay, so if we go study wise, I know we got time. We have to get moving on time here. But Albert Mehrabian did that study, silent messages, that said most of communication is 55% of it visual, right? 38% of it verbal to tone, and then 7 of it is the content. So you've got to really incorporate all of that stuff.
That down again. That's really interesting.
Robert. Yeah. So Albert Mehrabian did this study it was like in the 60s. He wrote this book, Silent Messages. And in that, they were looking at what influences an audience when somebody is presenting or speaking. And they found that 55% of what influences an audience is visually what people see. That's body language. That's what you're wearing. That's how you show up. That's how your face looks. All of that influences about 55% of what people connect with, right? And then the next number is 38% verbal. Am I monotone? Am I too soft the entire time? Am I speaking too fast all the time? Or do I speak so slow that people get bored to tears, right? All of that is about 38%. And all of us we've experienced all of these things. So 55, 38 is 93, which means 7% of what influences people is the actual content. Now, that doesn't mean that your content is not important or it's less important. It's just about matching up those things and being aware of what your body language is saying and what your tone is reflecting, and then looking at what your words are saying.
That's so interesting. Now with video, and since we're living lives online, have you noticed the changes from video versus an in-person talk?
There's some things that are similar, but there's some things that are different, because online you've got these 4 walls, right? You've got this square or this rectangle that you're in. Whereas if I'm on stage, I can walk across, I can change the look, the view. Pretty much for most people, unless you're crazy like Robert, for most people, they've only got 1 camera, right?
Right.
Unless you're crazy like Robert, most people only have 1 camera. Unless you're crazy like Robert, most people only have 1 camera.
All right.
So the visual changes when you're in person, but most people have 1 camera. So you got this square, this rectangle that you're in. And so how do you engage and connect with people? First of all, the eyes, but also your body, really being able to accentuate some things with your body when you're speaking on camera. And sometimes because I want people to understand some things, there are times where I might lean in closer to make sure that people understand something, and it also changes the visual proximity. So utilize those things when you're on camera.
So you want to, when you're setting yourself up for video, and let's say you don't have all these cameras and you have the 1 camera, take a look at how we're positioned here. So you do want to be able to show your hands if you're talking with your hands a little bit, and try to center yourself in front of the camera as much as you can. And this is a tip that I always highly recommend. Do your best to look right into the lens of the camera and not down at the person. We're also tempted to look, I want to look at Robert like this, down in his face, because I want eye contact. But online with video, you want to look straight into the camera.
Yes. Very important. Very important. And when we say stare into the camera, look straight into the camera, you don't have to be, it's not staring. It's think about a regular conversation. You don't have to be creepy. That doesn't mean that if you look away, it's like, oh my gosh, my video stinks now. Right? No, that's not what that means. It just means that you want to connect with people. So you've got to have eye contact, and looking away the entire time or looking somewhere else the entire time doesn't create that connection.
Right. A quick question. Yes, there will be a recording of this. A couple of people have asked. So yes, there will definitely be a recording.
Yes.
All right.
So let's roll. You ready? You ready for the reveal?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Drum roll.
Oh, drum roll. Okay. All right. So here's the drum roll. Bam. Okay, cool. So
100%.
I asked about the reveal because a lot of you came because you were looking for that 5-step formula to make your videos storific, right? To storify your videos. And I want to share that because a lot of people, again, are nervous about making videos, and videos, especially now, is one of the best ways that you can create visibility, that you can create legacy, that you can create just connection with people for yourself, for your business online. So as I do work with real estate agents, one of the things that I'm sharing with them is like, listen, the market is going to go up and down. Things are going to shift. Things are going to change. How do you get people, or how do you keep people connected with you even when they may not be ready to buy or sell? And one of those things that you can do is to utilize video so that you can continue sharing information with greater group of people while they're not in the space of readiness. And when they are ready, they say, oh my gosh, I vibe with Robin. I love how Robin shows up on screen, on camera. Not only does she give good content, but I just love her energy. Right. So that's something that's going to be helpful to you from sales and marketing perspective. So let's talk about how to craft or create a video. Right. And my big thing is, yeah, there's camera. Yeah, there's audio. And those are all important things. Yeah, there's lighting. All of those are important things. But how do you set up your video so that you engage with people and that you give them, what they need? So there are 5 things. I want to take you through this 5-step formula that I use. And once I give it to you, you're going to go on a lot of YouTube videos and you're going to like, oh my gosh, they're using the formula, right? So here it is. Let's see if I can make sure that I give, all right, cool. Come on, Robert, press the right button. Okay, there we go.
While you're doing that, go ahead.
Yeah. So when you create a video, step number 1 is you want to be able to, actually, let me draw my one further down here. You want to be able to create some engagement or connection with people, right? So you want to create or use a hook, right? What is a hook exactly? A hook is usually something that reels people in because it relates to an experience that they had or they didn't have or that they don't want to have. Something that is broken, something that's messy that they just don't want to experience. Right? So you may ask a question. You say, have you ever felt frustrated about going online and totally blanking or not knowing what to say? So you want to get people nodding their heads like right from the beginning of your video. So you create a hook, and one of the best ways to create a hook is with a question, because that question is very emotional, right? Our brains have this thing, this trigger, this process called instinctive elaboration, and it means that when a question is asked, our brain can't help but respond to it or process it, right? So you want to have a hook right at the beginning of your video so that people are drawn in and they want to do more. Okay, so that's step number 1. Step number 2, and hopefully I have space here.
And so like in the real estate, I'm just going to bring that right back to your real estate folks. It could even be something as strong as, are we in for a real estate crash?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty potent, but you're going to get some attention there.
Yep.
And then it gives you, the real estate expert, an opportunity to provide your expertise and your insights.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Okay, so we've got the hook. Right. And then the next thing that we move to after the hook is we move to the why. Right? So we share the statement that brings people in, and then we move into, okay, what's happening now in the world? What brought this thing about? Why should I care about this? So you start to talk about, if we go back to the storytelling formula that we shared before, right? The 4 elements of the story. This is now where we're sharing the context, the characters, and the conflict, right? So the context is what's going on. The characters are who this issue is affecting, or who's experiencing this thing. And then the third thing is that conflict. What's going on? So if I were to, just add CCC here for context, characters, and conflict, right? This conflict is essentially connected to that hook that you created in the beginning, in the first place, right? Forgive my drawing, people. I promise. Stick around with us. I'm actually going to share with you this 5-step formula in a professionally drawn out way, so that you can actually have a download.
Can you share your little whiteboard tips? Somebody's saying, "Wow, that's remarkable."
Right? So
Share your
you must look at.
And where are your friends? Where did your friends come from? They want to know.
My
So-
friends came from California. I don't know where they came from.
Your friends,
I
the
don't know.
little friends on screen.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll bring one of them. I'll bring one of my friends back. Let's bring him. I like him. He's like one of my favorite friends. Here he goes. There he goes. Oh yeah,
Okay.
come on. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. All right. Okay. So that's the third step. Step number 3, all right, is what I call, I'm just going to shorten this to cat. Hold on, let's go. Let's make a cat here.
You've got a smiling cat happening on screen.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That looks like I don't know, like a potato with a crown. I don't know. All right, so cat, or I call that my catalyst. That's the statement that you share in order to move people to action. Okay, so you got your hook, what's broken, the why they should listen to you, and then the catalyst is like what you need to do next. Okay, so let's go use that real estate example. Okay, Tim says, are you losing clients due to rising rates? Boom. All right, that's my hook. Why? Well, listen, over the last 6 months or the last 12 months, I hope you've noticed that this is happening in the real estate market. There's more supply than demand, and it's affecting how buyers and sellers operate, right? And what that's doing is it's causing agents to either operate in confusion, not know what their marketing approach should be, etc. Okay? And so then after I've moved through, that's my why. You need a process, or we need a way to figure out how to adjust when the market adjusts. That's my catalyst, right? That's kind of like the precursor to everything after that. So that's my catalyst. So that's step number 3. Step number 4 is then, I'm just going to shorten this to conclusion. Okay, so I've shared with you, I've said you need to be able to figure out how, or you need a process or system or an app that is going to help you figure out how to adjust when the market adjusts, right? So now I move into, here's this app that I want to share with you. I'm reviewing an app, or I'm sharing with you something new that you could do, a new process, a 10-step process, or the 5 ways that you can do this, whatever it is. That's my conclusion. Okay. And then run out of space on the right here. So step number 5 after that is what I call my CTA, or call to action. Right. So now after I shared the conclusion, what do I want my audience to do? Part of the reason why we don't get engagement or traction in sales is because we don't tell the audience that's listening what we want them to do. So after I've shared the product, after I've shared with them introducing the Market Adjuster 3000, right? Now I've got to have a call to action that says, hey, go to marketadjuster3000.com. I'll give you a gift so that you can begin to use this. That's a call to action. You got to have that. So let's go back through those really quickly. You're creating a video. You want to have a framework, and this is how you incorporate stories. So you start with the hook, which is also essentially a conflict. Then you move to the why, which really incorporates your context, your characters, and your conflict again. And then you have a catalyst statement. Here's what you need to do. Here's what's necessary. Here's the ultimate approach or process that you need to take. And then step number 4, the conclusion. Now you lay out the details of this. And then step number 5, somebody's asking what's the difference between a cat and a CTA. So the catalyst and the cat and the CTA, the catalyst and the call to action are very similar. So the catalyst is more saying, hey, this is what's necessary. This is what you need. The call to action is more specific after you've gone through that conclusion And now you can say, here's what I want you to do next. Here's your next step. Go here, buy this, look at this, explore this, come back tomorrow, come back on the 18th at 4 o'clock. Whatever your call to action is, that's what you end with. And you, especially if you have a business, you want to end with a call to action. Yes, the cat is a setup for the CTA. Yes.
So
Right?
this is the
You want to,
structure order. Yes.
yeah. So you want to end with a call to action so that people are left with what exactly it is that you are suggesting, recommending that they do. Right? And your job as a business owner is to solve a problem. So yeah, so I think we're running close on time here. So yeah, we can come back together.
Call to action. Hang on a second. Speaking of call to action, you no doubt, Robert, have a call to action. And is this a downloadable product that you're offering? And we're not getting to we're not done at the end yet. You may be surprised. You may be holding that off till the end, but
yeah. So actually, I've got a website, and I think Bruno's going to be playing the video at the end where it's going to send you to the website. If you go to the website, there are several resources on the page. There are several, and they're free resources, right? So one of the resources that's there is called 21 questions that you can use to start your video or to start your story, right? So if you're having trouble figuring out what a hook should be, there's a download that says, hey, here's 21 ways that you can start your hook, right? So that's one that's there. Also, you will see something that says the 5-step formula to storify your video, or the 5-step formula to have a fantastic video story, right? So if you go to this page that is going to be shared with you in the video right at the end, you will see those resources there. Download them, use them, reply to me, connect with me, say, hey, Robert, this is fantastic. Or Robert, this stinks. Can you make another one? Whatever it is, get connected with me. Let me know how I can help you execute this stuff.
Okay,
because
so
I know
there's
it's
a
transformational.
great example of a call to action.
Yes.
Yes. And thank you. Elaine says, so many gems here. We'll listen again and again. Thank you both. And thank you for listening. We're not done yet. Not done yet. One last question I have, and that is, does this formula work if they're just presenting information? So maybe it's not a video, they're presenting information.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So a lot of people may be in a corporate space where you're like, I'm not selling anything. I just want to, create a video to do something. The ultimate deal is the reason that we share information is because we want to influence, right? We want people to do something. We want them to think about something differently, have a different perspective, know that what the world that they were in or something has shifted in their world. We want them to be aware of that. So you still want to use the same formula. You don't necessarily need to have a recommendation that you're sharing, but you want to end with that call to action that says, hey, here's what we do next. It might be something as simple as, hey, this is what we're up to. Let's meet again in 2 weeks to deal with this, or let's evaluate where we are in 10 days. Whatever it is, you still want to walk through those steps so that you can really share with people what's happening, create that emotional connection, create that why, and then let them know what the next steps are.
That's excellent. So it's useful, yes, for presenting information and for your videos, for sure. All right. Now, another call to action I have, for those of you that are struggling sometimes with what do you want to talk about, or you're running out of ideas, or you need to post something quickly on social media, but you're just stumped, which I can relate to. So I do have a complimentary download. It's a 12-month calendar with topic ideas and some holidays too. So Bruno will be putting the link to that if you want to grab that. Yes.
I think I want that.
You want that? Yeah, it's kind of a quick cheat sheet. Helps you tie in with some trends, some trending topics. Yeah, so it's a quick one. All right, Robert, you are a gem. Why is your video so nice and clear? That's
because
not
the
me.
Video gods.
That's a comment, guys.
Yeah, that's because video gods have shined on me, and well, I mean, the simple answer: networking topic chest. Wow, Okay,
Tool
tool
chest.
chest.
Tool
Yeah,
chest.
networking. The simple answer to that is over the pandemic, I've made a couple of investments in cameras, lenses, and here's the biggie: lighting. Right? You can have the best camera in the world, and I'm talking about webcams, DSLRs, mirrorless cameras, whatever. You can have the best camera in the world. If your lighting is not good, then people cannot see you or they won't see you clearly. So lighting is super important in this setup, and lighting is what's made the biggest difference in my clarity.
Got to give him a clap on that one. Okay. And just a couple of other things again for those of you that might not be BigVU users. And this touches on the video aspect, but also if you have a presentation and information or a blog that you want to be posting about, you can do the video, but also get the transcription. And it also, with one button, gives you captions. So it makes life so much easier. So highly encourage you to check it out. Watch the YouTube channel. There's so many great tutorials from Bruno and the team, and it will really make it's a game changer. I hear it all the time from people that I recommend it to. So
Yes.
shout out to
Ronnie
Big
Lewis, diffused lighting. Yes. Diffused lighting is good. Well, so we can talk about that at another time. That's
Yeah,
actually
that might be, if you guys want another video on that, let us know. That might
that
be
would be
another.
fantastic.
So
Yeah.
are there any other questions? Anybody else have a question in the comment? Now's your time. Put a Q in front of it, and we'll do our best to have Robert answer it for you.
Yes. We got a
Otherwise,
little bit
do
of
comment. And if you're catching it on the replay or watching it live, do us a favor and give some thumbs up. Show us some love. And share it away. It's all interactive, and we're so happy and grateful that you're here and joining us today.
Yeah. Yeah. This is fantastic. I've loved hanging with you here, Robin. You've made it really easy. So I think, can you share with us a little bit more about what you do and how you help um,
Sure.
businesses, entrepreneurs? I'd love to hear a
Yes.
little bit. You're given
Delighted.
the content stuff there.
Well, yes, I've been a storyteller for many years, I think since I
Yeah.
could talk.
Yeah.
So my business is we help entrepreneurs and experts who want more visibility and growth. We accelerate that through the power
Yeah.
of storytelling in the form of PR. So that's public relations, working with the media to get our clients in their dream publications or podcasts or shows. And also we started with video marketing 12 years ago. So we've
Love
been
it.
using a lot of video. Even if I were at a conference speaking and also working with clients, I would grab video on my phone. On my phone, I would immediately upload it to YouTube. So video is so powerful in your marketing. And again, the whole storytelling aspect wrapped around it can really help grow your brand, and you won't be wasting money on advertising that often doesn't work. So we are here consulting and help to offer advice and in any way that works for you. That's what we
Love
do.
it. Excellent. We got some
Yeah.
cues in the comments here. So do you want to walk through a few of these?
Yeah. Let's see. You go for that because you have identified it faster than I did.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'm
see
looking
one
for all the
that
links
says,
here.
where can we get those digital friends? How about that?
Yes, those were your little friends in the beginning. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, you can get them anywhere that sells stock video footage. One of my favorite resources is envato.com or elements.envato. So what you're looking for is alpha channel animations. So that's one of the things. But you can make some of your own as well. So for example, um, I don't know if you can see this.
If you need more friends.
So, well, I brought not just my friends, I brought me again. How about that?
Oh, he has a twin.
Yeah, I got a twin. Or if I'm doing a session and I want to say, hey, kudos. All right, there we go. All right, I've got some more people. Let me go one more. Let me get the music. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's not the music. All right, here we go. No, I don't want that music. How about this one?
I'm giving you some love on my side here.
Yeah.
Love it. Yes. Robert,
That was
multi-dimensional
cool.
here, multi-talented.
Yeah, so you can create your own friends. What I did for that one, and y'all are getting like all the secrets. BigVU's giving
Well,
you
you
all the
guys are
secrets.
getting a lot of secrets
Yeah.
here today.
So
That's
here-
because you're with
here's
us.
the secret. I recorded myself using my cell phone. I had my son record me doing some crazy things using my cell phone in front of my garage because my garage is white. The garage door is white. And so what I did was after that, I went to this site called unscreen.com and it removed the background from those videos and it allowed me to bring them into my software here so that I can play them and dance when I want to.
If you guys want another session, I don't know, BigVU, you'll have to let us know if you want another follow-up session on this. It's pretty exciting stuff there, Robert.
Yeah, I mean, we could do like a walkthrough, literally build it on screen.
Now that you know the story structure, you have your formula down. Now you're ready to jazz it up, right?
Yep.
So let's do that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Love the question. What else we got?
I got a nice comment here, networking tool chest. I happened to stumble across this today. It's been one of the most actionable sessions I've seen in a long time. Thank you. Well, thank you.
Yay! Yay!
This is a great question. How to be consistent with video?
It's I don't want to even overcomplicate that. It's like anything else. Anything that you want to be consistent with. Who said this? Peter Drucker is like a business expert, and he said, "What
Yes.
gets measured gets done." Right, and so
Say that again.
what gets measured gets done, meaning
Okay.
that you have a system of accountability, evaluation, and assessment for anything that you're doing. Right. So if I want to be consistent with video, content calendar is an easy thing, but when I say content calendar, it's not just I'm going to make this content calendar on and put it on the side. I've got to put it into my actual calendar like I would a meeting. If I'm having a meeting at work or a meeting with my team, I put that meeting on my calendar. So why not have video time on your calendar as a meeting and then create during that time and begin putting them out? It's about the consistency is going to happen when you actually have the commitment listed in your calendar on your physical tools.
And I also think if you have a structure, like you have your intro, you have your outro, maybe you have 3 points you're going to make and it's going to be 15 minutes, done. So if you also add some structure to it, that will make it easier. And grab my calendar for some topic tips.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that should help.
Absolutely.
All right. I do believe we are at the end of this session.
Yeah,
and
we're close
I
on
want to
time.
thank everybody. Thank you all for joining us on behalf of BigVU. This has been fantastic information provided by Robert. And we are excited that you joined us today. And again, if you are going to watch it in the comments, and do give it a little interactivity there and let us know what you want to see next. So that's it for now. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day and your weekend.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Storytellers, thanks for joining me on the session. I'm so pumped that we were connected, and I hope you found real value in what was shared. Do me a favor, I want to continue the journey with you. Head on over to RK3 That's Me. That's right, RK3That's.me. On that page, you'll find all of the different places on the interwebs that you can get connected with me. And there are also some great resources for you to download. Download them because they're designed to help you become better presenters, better communicators, and video storytellers. And that's what we need more of in this world, right? Listen, get connected, go to RK3 That's Me. I'm RK3, and I hope to see you in my inbox.